Hey there, East Tennessee. Hope you have been enjoying your Sunday. It's been a pretty good day overall. Temperatures working their way into the lower 80s. We still had that higher humidity, but overall, we haven't seen too much rain pushing into the area. You can see here in East Tennessee, we do have a couple of storms starting to push into our plateau counties, as well as a couple more isolated storms when you look further throughout the area. But overall, things have not been active so far. But as of about 6 p.m., we are still watching this wider swath of storms go from western into middle Tennessee, just finally starting to get into and past the Nashville area. So this is what we're looking at as we get later into the evening time. Here's that closer look here at East Tennessee. You can see some of those storms pushing in ahead, about to enter some of our plateau counties throughout the north and the south. Now, as the big thing that we're looking at for this rain, this is a look at the rain that we've seen over the past 24 hours. We've gotten a lot, especially with this late, very wet pattern that we've been seeing, especially yesterday, but some places getting upwards of 3 inches, if not a little bit over. So when we look to the storms that we're going to be seeing tonight, there is that level 1 severe potential, mainly for some gusty winds. We're not really seeing a lot of upper level support or high instability to really push for severe weather, but we do have the possibility of a couple gusty winds coming into the area. The main thing we're actually going to be looking at is flooding. Now, because of this consistent rain, flooding potential is going to be in that level 1 possible range again, which actually is not a category for severe weather, but it is something that we're going to see with these repeated rounds of rain. So I'd say the big thing to really look out for these storms is going to be some flood advisories in your area, especially if you're going to be on the roads during those nighttime hours. So here's a look at the rainfall as we get later overnight into Sunday. You can see, honestly, overall, we're not going to see too much. Most places generally showing to get around a quarter of an inch, maybe for some places, not too much along our northern borders. We seem to have more of a southerly focus with some of these storms. So with some of those isolated rains, of course, a lot of areas could see, again, some of those heavier rains, isolated spots getting those heavier rains. And if the same places see that rain repeatedly, that's where that flood risk is going to start to enter the picture. But here's a look at your futurecast right now. A couple of spotty storms that we're seeing right now, but that's going to be something that grows as we get into the late night hours, generally after dinner time. Some of our models in particular are pushing this next wave of rain in, coming around 8 p.m. Again, you see more general rain throughout the northern side, and as you push further south, that's where some of those stronger storms seem to appear. Now, again, that level 1 chance for severe weather, we could generally see just a wide cluster of scattered thunderstorms that are kind of moving through the area. Could be marginally severe, generally looking at some gusty winds. We didn't see anything severe yesterday, but we did get some winds upwards of 50 miles per hour for some of those storms. So it's going to be something to keep an eye on. But again, for those areas that get that heavier rain, we're mainly going to be looking at a flood risk. So you see that really calm down as we get into the overnight hours, crossing into your Monday. And by the time you wake up, we're mostly going to have some clarity, even cloud cover pushing out of the way as we get into the rest of the day. And that is when we're going to see much drier days. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday specifically, we're going to have a beautiful first half of the week before some rain chances reappear because of some shortwave systems entering as we get towards the end of the week. Now, there is going to be a cold front that we have been seeing pass as we've gotten over these couple of hours, and so we're finally going to see it move out of the way as we get into your Monday. That's why today and tomorrow are going to be lower in temperature in the mid 80s, but we keep rising as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperatures making their way back into the upper 80s to the lower 90s as we head into the weekend, and they seemingly stay there for a hot minute. The big thing to be excited about, though, is that muggy meter taking a drop. You see, we finally go from that humid range down into the comfy area as we get from Monday even through Wednesday before we start to rise back up and see more of those rain chances towards the end of the week. So Tuesday and Wednesday in particular, definitely make sure you take the opportunity to get outside and enjoy it, especially because things are going to be feeling a lot more crisp in the air. But as we look forward, this front is going to move out of the way, and then we'll see high pressure pushing further into the region as we get through the rest of your Sunday and the beginning half of the week. So here's that full 7-day forecast again. Whole lot of sunshine. Look at that. We haven't been able to put up a good sunny symbol in quite a while, but those rising temperatures back into the upper 90s. We don't stay cool per se for long, and then seemingly staying there because of those shortwave systems. Rain chances continuing to increase as we look towards the weekend.